If you're operating a lead generation site, then you've got some unique issues that you need to deal with. Now, the great thing about lead generation, the internet has changed everything because inbound marketing costs 62% less than typical direct marketing. Outbound marketing, such as direct mail, television, radio, newspaper, the average cost per lead is about $300, whereas inbound marketing, such as search marketing, costs drastically less. And so that's why lead generation online has become such a great way to extend your business and get more leads. Companies such as Salesforce, many others, not only help you manage this, but they also do a great way of developing leads their own. So be sure to look at some of the other CRM companies and look at how they are designing their pages to get the lead and take cues from them as to how you can increase your leads. Now, lead generation has a unique problem, and that's in the analytics. You see, in this example, where a company had one word that was ranking number 3, and that same word was ranking number 12, people behaved very differently coming in at different places on the site. That number 3 ranking was the home page, and it resulted in 48 conversions. The number 12 ranking was a product page, and it resulted in 43 conversions. Now, the problem was that the number 3 ranking of those conversions, of those leads, only 8% closed. Of the 43 that came from the number 12 ranking, 60% closed. So you might make a bad decision just based on conversions. However, conversions are an incomplete picture of what's going on when it comes to the actual close and revenue of the business. You've got to know what you can measure and how far into the lead generation and lead management and the closing of that lead you can measure. You see, as a search engine optimizer, you're usually at the top of the funnel. You can test the acquisition, you can test your creative, you can adjust the search engine optimization, you can look for more rankings, and you can always generate more conversions. But unless you are measuring what happens to that lead after you get it, there's no way to measure the quality of the conversion. And so if you are an SEO in a lead generation website or company, you need to ask a few questions. In order to properly know how well you're doing your job, you need to know how you are being measured. Are you being measured simply on the basis of creating conversions? If so, what is completely under your control? And if you are being measured beyond just simply getting conversions, if you're being measured for the quality of those conversions, the closing of those leads, then you need to know how much of that process is being measured and how much you can change, and also if you can get a corporate buy-off. Will people agree with you that you are responsible for this group of actions and someone else is responsible for another group of actions? There's always a lot of outside influences. It depends on, are you tracking your leads? Are there email campaigns going out? Are there any promotions that you don't know about? Does your company send out catalogs or do other offline promotions? You need to know these things so that you can do your job better and more effectively, and also work them into any tracking that might be taking place. Another outside influence might be customer service. Maybe it's an existing customer who's calling in, or maybe someone fills out a lead form and then calls in order to initiate the process as well. And so you've got to have some level of implementation into a call center. How good is your sales force? I can be generating great leads, but have a very bad sales force. So we've got to be sure that every part of the transaction is measured in order to fully understand how well we're doing. And so that's why I always recommend for lead generation websites that you have an integrated customer relation management tool. Something that will integrate with your analytics, something that will integrate with your lead tracking, and will enable you to score leads and help salespeople understand how to better approach the leads. You see, a good sales tracking tool, this one is from HubSpot, and it tells you how many conversions you received off of specific articles. Then it will go the next step and tell you how many of those leads turned into customers. And so now you have the full circle of measurement capability. You not only know which articles are producing leads, you'll know which articles are producing sales. Your thank you pages can go a long way in assisting the conversion. When someone fills out a lead form, you can always ask them if they remembered anything that will be required when the salesperson calls. And so make sure that they have any information ready that they will need. In one company, they found out that if the salesperson didn't close the call on the first call, then the chances of converting that lead into a customer went down 80%. And they realized the reason why salespeople weren't converting people on that first call is because people weren't ready for the salesperson's call. They needed to have specific information on hand during that call, because if they didn't, the salesperson would have to call back, and it was never a good time. So by telling your lead to have specific information ready when the salesperson called, they increased their lead conversion rate just by adding that little bit of text to the thank you page. So let the customer know what they can do. Give them information that will help let them know that they made the right choice. Give them downloads or tools or white papers or case studies that will let them know that they've made the right choice, and reinforce their choice by giving them action items to take until the salesperson calls.